My character Hazel needs to leave the city for a number of reasons. One is that she's pregnant and she has to do something about this pregnancy. So she's trying to get back to Canada to talk to the father of the child, Carl, and figure out what she wants to do. But the other reason she has to leave is because of the number of attacks that are occurring in New York. She's already witnessed 2 major events. Her friend Moira, who's someone that she meets along the way, wants to get back to Buffalo. And so the two decide to travel together because they think that it will be safer.
When Moira and I left New York the next morning in the rental car, it was like leaving the known world. She directed me as I drove through Manhattan, which with her shouting out instructions was not as difficult as you might have imagined. It didn't hurt that we were driving in the opposite direction to most people, out of Manhattan, while everyone else was trying to get in. We got to New Jersey and were feeling triumphant, buzzing on caffeine, when we realized we'd taken a wrong turn and were off route.
I have a rule when I'm driving this stretch. I never get off of the expressway in New Jersey because you're just going to, if you don't know Jersey at least, you're going to wind up getting rooted all around, and your 2-minute pee break is going to take half an hour, 45 minutes. And it gets a little bit creepy when I start to pass by, you know, the section of road where I can imagine the state trooper taking out a gun and sighting it on the blonde.
We heard a siren and a state trooper's car zoomed up on us from the left. Numbly, I steered over to the shoulder and brought our vehicle to a complete stop about 50 yards back from the woman. The cruiser zigzagged in behind her and blocked our view. Moira strained forward in her seat, trying to see through the windows of the police car. The trooper got out. He stood there assessing the situation. He called something to the woman. She's a blonde, Moira speculated, but she wasn't talking about the woman's hair color. She meant the disease. I didn't say anything. Vehicles were still flying past us in the left lane, but I had no intention of driving on yet. The trooper stood very still in the sun, staring out from beneath his hat. Then he leaned through his car window and pulled out a black shotgun, even though he still had his pistol on his hip.
It's almost like the rules of the plague that apply in the city don't apply in the country. There are different rules in the country. And by the time they get to the border, everything in the novel changes.
Your vehicle has been selected at random for an additional security search, the border guard told me in an even voice. Did I understand? I said I did, since I didn't expect I could refuse the check. He asked for my passport. Once it was in his hand, he gestured our car into an empty space between 2 guardhouses. He didn't take yours, I said to Moira, as I pulled the vehicle ahead. Then a different guard was at my window, a woman. Because of where they'd pulled us over, we weren't quite under the station roof. She had a big black slicker slung over the shoulders of her tight blue uniform, and she seemed to shine under the station's lights.